Right from the start, this feels different. You can hear the pain in her voice. She didn't come to fight, she came to find out the truth. And that says everything about how broken this relationship really is.
Your Honor, the case of Smith v. Brookins.
Thank you very much, Ms. Smith and Mr. Brookins. It's nice to have you here in divorce court, and welcome everyone to divorce court. This is a case where the stakes are pretty high because these two people, although they're not married, there are a number of minor children that are involved in the drama that has become their relationship. I'm going to talk with Ms. Smith to begin. You've been together with the defendant for 7.5 years. You share 2 daughters, but you're bringing him to divorce court. Why?
I'm at my wit's end with him. If I find out that he's cheating, I am leaving today.
So you came in just to get answers?
Yes.
And some clarity?
Exactly.
Mr. Brookins, you heard what Ms. Smith says. What do you say, sir?
Yeah, and I came here today to prove to her that I love her and I want to be with her, and I want to get married to her.
And so you said there's no reason not to trust you?
Right.
Well, I'm about to find out. Ms. Smith, why don't you take me back? Take me back to how you all met and then what led us to get to we're in divorce court.
Well, we met in middle school.
This part really hit me. She tried to make it special. Cooked for him, dressed up, just to be ignored. That kind of rejection goes deeper than people realize. It's not about food or sleep. It's about feeling unwanted.
For him, and I thought it was gonna be like a spontaneous, good night. So when he got home, he looked deadbeat tired. I didn't know why, but he said he was gonna take a shower, and I was already dressed for him. He knew I was in there cooking. So he was like, well, I'm gonna take a shower and I'll be in the room waiting on you. So, okay, so by the time I was finished cooking and I brought the food to the back, to the room, he was passed out. Like literally slumped.
Yeah, no, before that, she was calling me about social media and stuff like that, about my kid's mom, and she come to me about it. And so
on that same day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So when I got home, she had everything set up nice and everything, but I was already upset about what she called me about. So
in other words, y'all have been going all day long.
Yes.
And by the time you, just so you know, but I'm being silly, but I want to be honest. But it's very expensive. It's an expensive habit. It can take away from the family finances. Do you have problems, Miss Smith?
I admit I do. I have a spending problem. I do. The bills will get paid. Nothing ever got cut off or anything. It may be late, but it's never getting cut off. But my spending habit is outrageous. I can admit that. Especially if all the money's on the card.
So you do realize that that's never going to be a way for you to build anything in your family.
Right.
If you are overspending. And so then, is Mr. Brookins supposed to be the one to bear that burden, Miss Smith?
I try not to let it be for him, but I tell him just to hold on to it, because I know I have a problem. So I tell him to hold his paycheck and do what he feels is necessary. But I'm also working on that myself, because I can't hold a savings account for nothing. Okay,
so Mr. Brookins, here you go. You now you're it. You now in charge of the family finances, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And Miss Smith should not be having the credit card and access to the Amazon account. Y'all need to close down Prime up in your house.
Yeah.
For real. That doesn't even make sense, for real.
We was gonna go fishing. He was like, I got, some things to handle already automatically.
There's financial stress here, but also honesty. She admits she has a spending problem. But think about the imbalance. He gives her his full paycheck and still feels like he's losing control. That's not love. That's survival mode.
So why don't you explain to me why your feelings are so hurt? Because I understand there is a suspicion of cheating, and a lot of it has to do with this ex.
Yeah, it does. It kind of slowed down right about now, but every year, it's always something. At least once or twice a year, it's always something. Either him sneaking to talk to her behind my back, leaving off with her,
So I understand there was a specific incident, what you called Family Day.
Right.
Talk to me about that.
Family Day, yes. I woke up, I planned the night before. We was gonna go fishing. At that time, it was just me, one of my daughters, and him. And, I woke up the next morning, he was up before me, he was dressed before me, everything before me, which was weird. And, I was asking him what was going on. So he was like, he's getting ready to go. So I'm like, go where? He was like, I got, some things to handle. Already automatically, I knew it had to be with Diamond. I told him, today, considering we don't spend time, and I wanted to do that with him that day with our daughter, but he had other plans.
What happened, Mr. Brookins?
I turned down that because every time we go out or do something, it's always got to bring up Diamond in the conversation. So
Diamond is always around.
And I try to hide, and then I started trying to hide me talking to her so it won't bother her.
It's gonna bother her.
Ooh can feel it building. Every family moment she tries to create ends with Diamond in the picture. It's not just jealousy. It's a repeated pattern of being made to feel second place in your own relationship.
Was not mobile. Now that we're mobile, we are able to pick up his children, but everything is a hide and a sneak when it comes down to his other family. So I get very uncomfortable. One time I was using his phone to look for something, then a text comes, and the text has his mother's name on it. His mother's in my house in the living room.
He saved Diamond's name under mom.
Right.
Yes, ma'am, it's a reason.
Other than being sneaky? Okay, you all are gonna have to figure this out, because this is something that families face all the time when their children from outside of the present relationship. Mr. Brookins, what do you want to happen in this situation?
To prove.
Then comes the moment that changes everything. Finding Diamond saved in his phone as Mom, while his real mom is sitting in the next room? That's not just sneaky, that's emotional manipulation. That's planting lies while pretending it's love.
Everybody's outside. I scroll, and after a little while, I noticed that he's texting her, but her name is his mother's name in his phone instead.
So in other words, he saved Diamond's name under mom.
Right.
Is that correct, Mr. Brookins?
Yes, ma'am, it's a reason.
Other than being sneaky?
Yeah, because every time I talk to her or get involved with her, she's always saying that I'm cheating.
Because you come across as sneaky.
Yes.
Period. You come across as sneaky. You come across as shady. You do lie. There's a reason for her to be suspicious. She's not being paranoid. A lot of time, your partner comes in to divorce court, and I think, well, maybe you're being insecure. Maybe you're being paranoid. She's not being either one of those things. You are sneaky. You are shady, and you do lie. That's it. That's it. So she has every reason to think that you are cheating with this woman, absent evidence to the contrary. Am I correct, ma'am?
Yeah, right.
This judge doesn't hold back. And honestly, she's right. He's sneaky, shady, and constantly defensive. That's not how you treat someone who stood by you through so much. Trust doesn't survive secrets.
Mr. Yarbrough, please introduce yourself for the record.
Certainly. My name is John Yarbrough. I'm a certified polygraph examiner. I'm a member of the American Polygraph Association. And I've done hundreds of polygraphs for numerous law enforcement and other public safety agencies across the state, as well as professional and private polygraphs.
Mr. Yarbrough, we asked you to put 2 questions to the defendant, Mr. Brookins. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And sir, we asked Mr. Brookins, question 1. Since starting your relationship with Ms. Smith, have you had sexual contact with any of your other children's mothers?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Very clear. What was Mr. Brookins' answer?
Mr. Brookins answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination results indicated there was no deception noted to that question.
No deception noted to that question. You told the truth. Question number 2, Mr. Yarbrough, we asked Mr. Brookins, during your relationship with Ms. Smith, have you had sexual contact with anyone other than her?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Another specific question. What was Mr. Brookins' answer?
Mr. Brookins answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination results indicated there was deception indicated to that question.
Ooh-wee.
So there's been some sexual contact at some time. Breathe in, breathe out.
With
Thank you, Mr. Yarbrough. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome,
We
Your
appreciate
Honor.
it. Breathe in, breathe out,
Yeah.
and then tell your fiance what it is that's been going on.
Just be honest.
This was the big reveal. One polygraph says he's telling the truth. The other one? Total lie. And his response? I'm just a nice guy who flirts. No, that's not how you defend a relationship. That's how you deflect blame.
Specific question, but I don't know what else is going on, and something else has been going on.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for her to think that you sneaky. There's a reason for her to think that you shady. There's a reason for her to think that you lie, because you are all those things, Mr. Brookins. And if you're not ready to come clean for your daughter's well-being and for your own self-esteem, you got to cut the cord.
I'm done. I'm done.
So I say to you, if you've got your answers, then act upon them. It's time to cut the cord.
That last moment from the judge? It's powerful. Cut the cord. Because sometimes love isn't enough. You can't build a future with someone who makes you feel like the crazy one just for asking for honesty. She deserves better.